This is just going to be a really quick video today asking the question, is the Bible homophobic or transphobic? And obviously the reason I'm asking this question is because the LGBTQ movement seems to be accusing everybody of hating them, and that goes for the Bible as well and the people that read the Bible, obviously. To me, I believe that this is absolute paranoia on behalf of the LGBTQ movement, and obviously the Bible does claim that homosexuality is a sin, but I think what most people from the LGBTQ movement are actually missing is the fact that if you start to actually look at the Bible and read the Bible, you'll realise that we're all sinners, and a lot of daily activities of many people is also a sin, including drunkenness, the love of money, adultery, greed, envy, blasphemy, laziness, stealing, lying, being sexually immoral, witchcraft, contacting the dead, spirits, lying, bearing false witness, idol worship, and really the list just goes on. And for some reason, the one group of people out of all these people that are listed as sinners in the Bible, which is basically everybody that's ever lived other than Jesus Christ, these strange movements like the LGBTQ movement get really offended by these accusations that they are sinners, even though the Bible clearly states that we are all sinners. It pretty much says that we all fall short of the glory of God, and that is obviously why Jesus Christ was forced to die for our sins. Well, not forced, but willingly died for our sins, to protect us from the consequences of our sins. And like I say, these movements of LGBTQ and all that, at the moment, they seem to be overly sensitive for me. I mean, they want everything banned. Everything that doesn't include a rainbow is homophobic or transphobic or something stupid like that. And I just don't understand why they are so sensitive and why they're being pandered to like they are by the mainstream media and even governments and corporations now, who all seem to be promoting the exact same idea and ideology. And anybody that is against it or criticises it or doesn't agree with it is pretty much dismissed as transphobic or homophobic, and that's pretty much the modern day in a nutshell. If you criticise somebody or a group of people or a religion, you're dismissed as racist or anti-Semitic, but you can criticise Christianity as much as you want, knock yourself out, that's allowed. But do not criticise anything else. Do not criticise Islam. Do not criticise Judaism. Do not criticise the genocide on the Palestinian people that has been backed by American and British governments for decades now. Just criticise the average white working male, and there are so many examples of bullshit like this nowadays. And even in football, I mean, now they're banning football chants when they sing about people from Brighton being gay. But I'm from Wolverhampton, which is a place that has got a lot of poverty, and the football chants are always about people in Wolverhampton living in poverty. It's like, it's banter. I mean, I don't get offended by the football chants about people in Wolverhampton and the stereotype about people in Wolverhampton living in poverty, and I don't expect anybody else to be offended by a stupid song made up by a load of drunks. At the end of the day, just ignore it. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, but there is this massive double standard starting to form in our society now, and people get so offended by stereotypes. But the trouble is a stereotype is only offensive if you get offended by it. I mean, there are plenty. I mean, there's not a stereotypical joke about white males that can possibly offend me. I mean, obviously it does offend me when the mainstream media viciously attack anybody who's white, you know, based on just the fact that they're white, like they do nowadays, and the way the gender and race swap all these characters that have existed for like years in some cases, and they just feel no way in just, you know, swapping the genders and swapping the colour of them and swapping, I mean, even historical characters in some cases. I mean, to me, it puts me off television and it puts me off funding any of it. But it's just one of them, isn't it? I mean, it's starting to get to the point now where you can only criticise certain people, and criticism of anybody else is either transphobic, homophobic, misogynistic, anti-Semitic, racist. It's just the way it is nowadays, and also the double standards in genders nowadays. I mean, like I say, you can criticise the white male, the average white working class male. That's okay to criticise them, but if you criticise a woman or women in general for their behaviour, sometimes it's totally frowned upon, and you're called a sexist and a misogynistic and all this shit. I mean, and I'll tell you an example of this, and I do have sympathy for the woman it happened to. The woman it happened to was named Christina Vevels Glick. She was a 38-year-old woman, and she was caught masturbating on a beach, and near enough 2 years, or 18 months after the incident, the police released the body cam footage of her being arrested for the crime. And this led to her, even though the parents say it wasn't just that, it was also the fact that she had a drug addiction and everything like this, but this led to this lady actually committing suicide late last year. And I do have sympathy for her, like I say, but I was reading the comments and everybody had sympathy for her. Everybody was apologetic for her and had sympathy for her, and why did the police have to do that? And I agree, why did the police have to release that video? Just looking for attention and clicks or something. I mean, absolutely amazing that they released that video for such of a petty crime, realistically, in, you know, and but they released it anyway, and everybody in the comment section was outraged by the fact the police released this video and by the fact that this woman ended up committing suicide. But I just thought to myself, if that was a man, you know, a 38-year-old man who was caught masturbating on a beach, would they receive the same sort of sympathy as a woman did? I mean, I very much doubt it, if I'm honest. But that's modern day society, isn't it? I mean, we claim equality and inclusiveness and all this shit. We like to say all these stupid words that really mean nothing. But when you scratch the surface, you see that it's not about equality. It's the total opposite. It's about inequality. It's about you're allowed to attack certain people and you're not allowed to attack other people. And it's got nothing to do with class or wealth or anything like that. Well, I mean, in this case it hasn't anyway. In this case it's just about, you know, race and gender and bullshit like that. I mean, to me, people have got to start to wake the fuck up and stop reacting to this stuff the media put out for us to react to, because that's what happens. The media put this out for a reaction and we react to it every time. I'm not homophobic, I'm not transphobic, I don't give a particular fuck what anybody's lifestyles are. People can criticise me, and obviously we're all sinners at the end of the day, so I don't judge anybody because I'm not in the position to judge anybody. I don't care what religion you are or what you believe or anything like that, because that is 100% your business at the end of the day. So I don't criticise people based on religions or sex or whatever. I don't criticise or race or whatever like, but what I do criticise is this idea now that everybody has to be proportionately represented by things like Hollywood and media when realistically it's not proportionate, it's totally out of proportion. I mean, you know, most people in the world are not transgender, most people in the world are not gay, most men in the world are straight men, most women in the world are straight women, just, you know, trying to live their lives. And yet these people find themselves constantly attacked because they don't subscribe to stupid ideas that are pretty new, and they're not really used to these ideas, and they're ridiculous as well, just to make it even worse. But these people that don't subscribe, these people that do subscribe to these ideas, like the LGBTQ movement, don't subscribe to the ideas of the Bible or religion most of the time. So, you know, what, we don't get offended by that. I mean, I'm not offended by that anyway. I don't care if you. It's up to you. You're entitled to your own thoughts at the end of the day. I mean, but realistically, as far as I'm concerned, you're entitled to your own thoughts anyway. But realistically, you're really not. It's like you're being controlled and brainwashed by mainstream media and Hollywood and BBC and all this bullshit to totally change everything that you believe. And if you refuse to change these ideas that you believe, then you're racist and you're homophobic and you're transphobic. And like I say, I'm not racist in the slightest, but I'm not stupid as well. Immigration in Britain is not about trying to help people that are less fortunate than ourselves. Immigration is about trying to help corporations get cheaper labour so people work for less money, so all of our lifestyles are affected negatively because of it. But thanks anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching, I'm out.